Hi, Collective. Welcome back to Love, Light, and Life Affirmed, your daily affirmations for self-love and growth. Hi, you guys. Welcome to Wisdom of the Shadow Zodiac Signs. Taurus, you are up. So, Taurus, you are known for your creativity, your discipline, your trustworthiness, Taurus. You are known to be reliable, patient, sensual, determined, but you do have a stubborn side, a materialistic side, and sometimes a selfish side. So, Taurus, let's take a look at the most important shadow work for you at this time. And remember, take what resonates, leave what does not. But this is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node. But also check your other placements as well, Collective. All right, Taurus, what is the most important shadow work for Taurus at this time? Shame and guilt. So some of you guys have feelings of shame, feeling guilty about something that's happened, something that you've done, a situation that you found yourself in. So when it comes to shame and guilt, Taurus, as far as working on your shadow, this is going to be learning to feel those feelings without judging yourself, okay? Mistakes do not define us. Mistakes do not define our worth either. So it is about being able to show yourself compassion and some acceptance. Every situation is going to be different for you guys, depending on what happened, what you were involved in, whether you were the victim in a situation or whether you were the perpetrator, right? So flip it where it goes. But at the end of the day, if you are trying to become a better version of self, it is about learning to forgive yourself. It is about learning to accept the fact that a mistake was made. And let me explain something. There's a difference between a mistake and doing things intentionally. See, a mistake may happen once or twice, but really not more than once. If something continues to happen, if someone continues to take an action, continues to treat someone in a certain way, and it is constant, see, that's not a mistake. That's now a choice, a decision to do something premeditated. It's thought about. So understand the difference when people say to you, oh, well, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. But then the very next day or the next week, they do the same thing. And then they say, oh, I'm sorry. And then the next week and the next week, they do the same thing and they say, I'm sorry. See, now it's no longer a mistake. Now it's just blatant disrespectful. Now this has become emotional manipulation. So again, if you are the person who had something happen to them, you shouldn't feel shame or guilt. Or if you do, you should not feel it with judgment attached to it. You need to forgive yourself. Now, if you are the person that's done something to another and you feel shame and guilt, it still is about accepting the fact that it was a choice that was made or a mistake that was made, depending on how often it happened, right? And it is about accepting that it's a part of you that you need to heal. Figure out why you want to inflict that certain feeling or pain or whatever it is towards another. And that's where your healing will begin, when you can look at yourself and truly decide or figure out why it is you choose to act in the way that you act. Okay? Yeah, and have hope. Having hope is needed because we all have to show ourselves grace. Navigate your shadows with compassion and gentleness. A lot of the times, the things that we call our shadow side stem from heartbreak, trauma, things that have happened to us. Some things that people know about and some things people don't know about, right? So you have to show yourself grace and have compassion towards yourself. No negative self-talk. In order to get out of that low vibration, you have to be kind to yourself. You have to take care of yourself. Yes, there are going to be external factors or even your own mindset that makes you feel as if you don't deserve some type of love or care if you've made a mistake. But again, like I said, a mistake is not going to define your worth. We are living a human experience. We've all made mistakes. We've all chosen the wrong path, went down the wrong road, made a wrong decision. And some things we can come back from, and some things are a little bit harder to come back from. But it is a choice that you have to come back from them if you choose it. So have hope and take care of yourself always. Never neglect yourself. Yeah, jumbled thoughts. Exactly. See, the mind can make a heaven of hell a hell of heaven. Confusion, anxiety, and escape. Yeah, so it is about your mindset, which we talk about here all the time, right, Taurus? It's about the mindset. You can choose to talk down to yourself all the time. This is going to create confusion, anxiety. It's going to make you want to escape your own mind. But if you find a way to find something positive to say, you don't need to escape that because it's already something good that you're going to feel. You don't need to run away from a positive thought like you have to from a negative thought. So it is about you getting control over your own mindset. This one also flipped out arrogance. This is about ego and pride standing in the way. This is about not being able to see your own flaws, so it hinders your growth. Know your limits so that you can learn and improve. There has to be a level of humility. And the universe has an interesting way of humbling people who choose not to find humility within self. This is about becoming self-aware of how your actions affect the people around you, how your negative self-talk affects you, which in turn then affects the actions you take towards other people, right? So this is about learning how to grow, how to get out of that arrogance, that ego, that most of the time is just there as protection, okay? So, what are the strengths and abilities that my Taurus need in order to help them with their shadow? Reconciliation. Okay. Some of you guys have a situation that involves another person that you need to reconcile with. Maybe you need to offer an apology, but maybe there's been a level of arrogance and ego that's preventing you from resolving this situation. It may be time to reconcile with someone or something. Is there an unresolved issue weighing on you? So, this is something that is heavily weighing on your mind. This is something that you're thinking about often. It's causing you to become distracted. It's jumbling your thoughts. So, it creates confusion, anxiety, and makes you want to escape, which in turn makes you do things that cause more issues, meaning if you find yourself falling into addictions or finding escape through other people, trying to find partners to distract yourself, it causes more problems than it solves when you ignore the core issue. So taking the first step toward peace will bring inner tranquility and strengthen your future relationships, even your relationship with yourself. The mind is so powerful that people self-sabotage great things in their life all the time, and they don't need help from anyone else to do this because of the insecurities, because of their own thoughts and how they feel about themselves. And how they feel about themselves generally is based on how somebody who supposedly loves them feels about them. It all creates this domino effect of emotional manipulation and control. And you have a whole bunch of people feeling insecure, and one person that's leading, that's watching all these dominoes fall. It's time to find reconciliation, starting with the self. If there is a situation or person that you need to reconcile with, maybe this is a confirmation that it's time. And you need to put your pride and ego to the side. Wow, for some of you guys, this is your twin flame that you need to reconcile with. A twin flame relationship is intense and transformative. Are you struggling with a deep connection? This relationship challenges you to grow and evolve on a soul level. So maybe you guys, some of my Taurus is here. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. This is not your situation. That's okay. Like I said, there's other useful information, but check your other placements as well. But for some of you guys, there's a situation here, Taurus, where you had a deep and very meaningful connection with someone. And you pushed them away because of how intense the feeling of the connection was. It was not something that you had ever felt before. You didn't know how to handle it, and you ended up self-sabotaging it. And most likely for other people around you, because other people made you question how you were feeling about the situation. I feel like this was a situation with another individual that made you very happy, and people could see that level of happiness on you, but it would not benefit them for you to be that happy. So they started to plant seeds of doubt in your mind. It created these jumbled thoughts where you were first having hope for this connection. See how this falls right under having hope. I feel like this is a connection that gave you some level of hope in matters of the heart that you had not had in a very long time. And I feel like because you pushed this person away, or they pushed you away, flip it where it goes, there's feelings of shame and guilt and wanting to reconcile. But those jumbled thoughts created confusion and anxiety. And instead of going towards a connection, someone ran away from it. And then they let their ego and pride get in the way. Yeah, this was a connection that kept you in balance, or you guys kept each other in balance. Balance is key to a harmonious life. And I feel like since you've lost this connection, or they lost you, Tor, you've been feeling, or they've been feeling out of sync. So somebody needs to adjust how they spend their time and energy to ensure that they maintain a healthy equilibrium. Somebody's out of balance because they are missing the other part of a connection, something that was truly joyful, that brought feelings of hope and enjoyment. There was kindness between the two of you, respect in the beginning, a lot of grace. I feel like you two understood each other on another level, and people could see that connection was strong, and they did not like that. Yes, confirmation from spirit. There you go. I don't make it up, you guys. It's what I'm feeling. So a true connection here was lost, and somebody feels shame and guilt because they allowed their thoughts to self-sabotage. And instead of finding a level of humility to admit their wrongdoing, their mistake, which turned into intentional hurt. This was a repeated offense, I feel. And instead of admitting that they were wrong in order to reconcile the connection, knowing how strong they felt about it, knowing how much they truly cared about it, they allowed their ego and pride, their arrogance to block the connection, and the people in their life who didn't want this connection to work, either for you, Taurus, or for the other person, they got what they wanted out of the situation. They blocked this connection. Wow. So, yeah, this is confirmation for somebody at the bottom of the deck. Somebody didn't feel worthy. Their value indicator was off. And I feel like it wasn't a question between this connection, whether there was value between the two people. I feel like it was the external factors that were making one or the other person question the connection. They wanted someone to feel this, it was pretend, or there was not really true feelings here. And yes, there was. Wow. What's the advice for Taurus? Take precautions. Yeah. Remain vigilant and receptive, learning from each revelation as you navigate life's journey. Yeah. Somebody's on a rough road, and it's because they didn't take precaution. So now they are having to navigate very carefully their next moves. What else for Taur? Carried away. Let yourself be caught up in the whirlwind of a romantic moment. Yeah, there was love here. Confirmation. And there was a lot of moments, I feel, of romance and love between the two people before the separation here. This was a connection that was opening up someone's heart, and people didn't like it. Wow. What else for Taurus? Yeah. Tide of transition. Embrace the tides of change with openness, allowing the ebb and flow of life to guide your transformation into love and work. This was a connection that was supposed to come together in order to create something. And this was bigger than just a romantic connection. This was supposed to turn into something divine. There was two people that were supposed to come together and build something together, and it was going to be created out of love. Wow. What else? Yeah, see? Creation, confirmation. Thank you, Spirit. This was going to ignite creation, harness innovation, fuel imagination, and witness manifestation as answers unfold in your journey of discovery. This was going to be a connection that was able to easily manifest something beautiful, like I said, and it was going to be created from the love between the two people. That's beautiful. Steady progress. Patience was needed here. Yeah, this was, confirmation. This was on the right track when the connection was there. Steady progress. Patience is your ally right now. Celebrate each step forward, no matter the size. I mean, right now, Taurus, the only advice is just to keep moving forward. You know, maybe it's possible for this to come back, it being possibly a twin flame connection, but it's going to probably not happen until divine timing. But yes, there was love here. It was on the right track to unlocking two people's heart spaces. Wow. Wow. Yeah. And it was going to ignite ambition between two people. Like I said, it was going to come together to create something beautiful out of passion, out of love, that was going to manifest something beautiful. Wow. Yeah. Can't make this up, you guys. Heart's desire. Sing along to your heart's song. for it knows what you truly want. Wow. Confirmation. What's Taurus's animal spirit that will help them as they deal with this shadow work? Golden egg. Wow. Spirit. Spirit is in this message. That is for sure. Wow. Message at the center of the heart. The unstruck sound. Wow, Spirit. Wow. Within the golden egg lives a precious sound. Deep within that sound resides a message. The sound cannot be heard, nor the message discerned until we retreat from the noise of modern day life. The magical essence of the golden egg needs warmth, quiet, and time to unfold. No rushing, pushing, or grasping. Find a place of deep and restful ease, perhaps through yoga or meditation. If you do not yet have a meditation practice, take some time for introspection or contemplation. When the mind begins to settle and the breath is calm, ask the question that weighs heaviest on your heart, staying open to any response you hear. Engaging with the energy of the golden egg is an advanced practice. It requires becoming intimate with our very essence and comfortable with vulnerability, the opposite of ego. When a feeling of tenderness or gratitude arises from deep within you, know that you are well on your way. Your chest may swell like you are seeing an old friend that's been away for a long, long time. Listen to the message they've been waiting to tell you. Wow. The golden egg and the fourth chakra. The subtle essence of the golden egg is nestled deep within the heart center at the fourth chakra. This chakra is the home of the self or soul. By bringing the mind into this center, we discover a portal to the most intimate and luminous space. It is said our inner guide sits there in deep meditation waiting for us. This is the unstruck sound. This was a very deep, heartfelt connection between two people. It's undeniable. It was supposed to come together to bring about something amazing, creative. Something was supposed to manifest from this. And it's possible that it still could, Taurus, but I feel like you guys are in separation right now because there's healing now that is needed because of how the separation came about. But it is very clear that at one moment in time, you were on the right track with this connection, this mirrored connection. Yes. Yes. Wow. All right. Let me get you your threads of soul question for Tar. Threads of soul. Wow. The lost child. And look at the heart, you guys, on the card. I can't make this up. Somebody is heartbroken. Wow. What part of you feels vulnerable or in need of care? How can you show yourself kindness? Vulnerability is necessary in this situation. But this heart space is so important. Someone's heart space needs healing after this loss. This was felt very deeply, and I feel like someone turned to ego and pride as a way to protect how they are truly feeling deep down in their heart space. But I don't feel like it's something that needs to be hidden. I feel like it's something that needs to be expressed so that it can be let go. So whether this is you, Taurus, or the other person that you were dealing with, or that's in your energy, someone needs to let go of their pride and ego. Someone needs to heal their heart space. And I feel like this is exactly what was happening in this connection. It was healing. It was unlocking two people's heart space here. Wow. And someone blocked it. What's the most important shadow work message for Taurus? Boundaries. Boundaries are needed. There was a lack of boundaries in this connection, within this connection, external to this connection. And I feel like the lack of boundaries, confirmation, thank you, Spirit, for the honk outside. The lack of boundaries caused the fall in this connection. Someone started to violate someone else's boundaries even after this connection was apart. So healthy boundaries are definitely needed here. So much disrespect needs to be corrected. I protect my body, energy, time, and space. I am allowed to say no to anything and anyone at any time. Boundaries are vital. Our time, our energy, our minds, our hearts, our bodies, our resources, our wisdom are all quite precious. We get to choose what we have the capacity to hold, what we desire to share and when, how we engage with others, and what we say yes or no to. We do not need to burn ourselves out, sacrifice ourselves, or extend ourselves in any way to make others comfortable. We do not owe an explanation to anyone for how we choose to live or share ourselves. We are allowed to set boundaries to preserve what we desire before the point of burnout or dissonance. If someone becomes uncomfortable because of the boundaries we put up, that is not ours to hold or manage. That's even more reason to set boundaries. We want to ensure that we are boundaried without putting up walls that prevent ourselves from being in mutually beneficial exchanges with others. We also want to ensure that we aren't shutting down or off to avoid having tough conversations. Setting healthy boundaries is a form of self care. Embrace your power to protect what is sacred. Notice any internal discomfort when saying yes to something. If you have a hard time telling people no, ask yourself why. Consider any tendencies to overgive. Notice if you feel drained due to imbalanced boundaries. Where do you desire to be fiercer in the declaration of your needs, Taurus? Where are you overprotecting yourself in imbalanced ways? And how can you speak up and create clearer boundaries for yourself? Wow, Tor. I pray that whatever heartbreak occurred, whatever separation occurred, that the parties involved have been in separation, truly healing, truly working on themselves, because I feel like this connection was such a strong one. But I feel like it was just not the right time. I won't say it wasn't the right time because I feel like the universe works in the way it's supposed to, meaning two people were supposed to meet each other and trigger each other into separation in order to heal. But I feel like one person mistook and misunderstood the connection. One person came in with an open heart, an open mind, an open perspective. Another person came in, they didn't know what to feel, but started to have intense feelings for the other, but allowed outside factors to make them question what their heart already knew all along. Either way, two people are heartbroken over this situation. But if there are two people that are connected so strongly and they are both working to heal themselves, then divine timing just might bring this connection back. But it will only be two parties healed. I hope that everything works out. And I hope that you continue to heal, Taurus, from the situation. And that it taught you something, if nothing else. Because that's what life does. It teaches us, it gives us experiences to obtain wisdom from, knowledge, so that we know how to deal with the next situation if we get another opportunity in a better way. All right, you guys, that is Wisdom of the Shadow Zodiac Signs. Thank you for being here with me. I hope the message was purposeful. It gave you some food for thought. If it resonated, I would love to know about it. And let me know if you actually like this segment, you guys. This is something new, but I'm really enjoying doing the shadow work for the individual zodiac signs. So let me know down in the comments. But until next time, Taurus, bye, guys.